Hey everyone, welcome to the Invisible LFO. I'm going to break down a recent song that I posted and kind of tell you the different elements of what's going on, how I did what I did, and yeah, hope you enjoy. So yeah, if you didn't see the song that I had posted or the jam or whatever you want to call it, of course you can check it out. It was the most recent song I had posted. So here's a brief kind of look of what it was. As you can see here, I'm using the Bitbox Micro for a lot of samples. I ended up sampling the Cobalt 8 for a lot of the ambient. I ended up sampling the Cobalt 8 for a lot of the pads on this track, and you can kind of hear those. Just kind of give you a little sample of that. So you can kind of hear it here. Now, of course, if you'd like a video on that, please let me know. You can put that in the comments. But I ended up using the Syntact to trigger the samples on the Bitbox Micro, which was super awesome. It was the first time I actually ever used the Bitbox to trigger, or the Syntact to trigger samples on the Bitbox, which was super enlightening. I'm probably going to be doing that on a lot more tracks because that definitely opened up a lot of possibilities on what I could do. In fact, I ran into a limitation where I'd sampled the Cobalt as one big long sample and then realized later on in the track that I was like, I want to split that up and actually make that sample like a quarter of the length and then play it back to back with another sample, kind of going back and forth between two. So I ended up using the split function on Bitbox Micro and just used little clips of that and triggered that with the Syntact, which worked out great. I think so. Anyways, let me know if you don't think so. But again, Syntact worked out great in that regard. I also recorded a lot of guitar. I recorded some acoustic guitar in here just for some extra rhythm. I wanted to really capture what my roots are. My roots are in guitar, and as you can see, a game of tones. I am definitely a tone freak when it comes to guitar, and it kind of led into synthesizers as a whole too. It's kind of like a gateway, if you will. But here we go. So yeah, just real simple guitar, real simple rhythms. Real easy stuff. Now, I did also use the Rainer. Haven't really jumped into the Rainer all that much. I really want to jump into it a little bit more. Right now, I was just using it simply as accents from grids. So I am using the 808 drum and the snare on there. Actually, I take that back. The kick is being accented from here. I ended up using the Pamela's Pro Workout to trigger the snare on Rainer. I just couldn't get it to work very well, at least the way I wanted it to on grid, so I ended up doing that. It ended up working alright. To be completely honest, I probably don't need it, but when you're patching, you're going to patch whatever you want, and you keep on patching. When do you stop, right? So I did that. Let's see. And then, of course, for the rest of the drums, I just use the samples on the Bitbox Micro. Use those stock ones. They were pretty good. Originally, I did want to use the sounds from the MC101. I got lazy. I didn't want to put them over and hook a bunch of stuff up just to get a kick, snare, and a hi-hat. So ones on the Bitbox Micro ended up working a-okay, if you ask me. So the grids, I've seen a lot of people talk on online how they're not really gelling with grids. And I see that on Reddit and a lot of the comment section and stuff like that. And I think you really just have to find that right dial in. You got to find those sweet spots. And you know, luckily with this one I got lucky. I found a good sweet spot for what I wanted to do. Sometimes I'll just find something that I like, maybe a little bit, and kind of work everything else around that. That helps out a lot too. I like doing that. But yeah, grids. It takes a lot of the creativity maybe out of trying to figure out those drum beats, because they're all in there. It's just finding the one you want, kind of dialing it in. So that ends up working pretty good. But also use the reverb and the delay very, very slightly, not a lot. A little goes a long way with that kind of stuff on the Bitbox Micro. So I ended up taking those as well as the raw signals out of those and just put those into the mixer. Now, what I was really happy about here was the Neo Trinity. I actually used the Neo Trinity a little bit. I didn't overuse it in this patch here, but I did use it a little bit on the DFAM to modulate the VCA decay. And let's see if I can give that to you here. So this is what it sounds like with it on. I'm going to mute it so you hear what it sounds like without it. Real simple, real boring. So I did have to fiddle with the Neo Trinity a little bit to get it to do what I wanted to do. Still kind of getting used to the workflow. And I figured out that really with the Neo Trinity, it's all about resolution. And what I mean by that is you have to make sure you have enough steps in your sequencer length on the Neo Trinity to really get that resolution of what you want to do, how you want the CV to react. Because for a little bit I was working with a lot less steps. I was working with 4, 8, 16, and it was not working. I could not figure out why. Read the manual, nothing about that information was in there talking about resolution and how you need more steps. It's kind of like a figure it out as you go type thing. So that ended up being a pretty great revelation rather. Trying to figure that out. So definitely something I'll know for next time. But yeah, real simple on the DFAM though. Not adding too much, but again with the rest of the drums, it sounds great. I think it adds lots of character. Real good groove. Yeah. All right, and then for the bass sound, I just used another stock sound from Bitbox. It did the job. I've got a bass around here. Again, I got lazy. I just didn't want to record another bass. I got a friend who plays bass. Didn't want to spend the time getting him over here, setting up the recording stuff, doing all that. Plus, it's all about the moment. You want to capture the feelings, the excitement of the moment. So by itself, not too exciting, but with everything else, I think it's got a good sound. And like I mentioned on the song that I posted in the title, song mode really came in clutch with this one. I've dabbled a little bit with the song mode on the Syntakt, and I'll tell you, it's better the more you utilize it, the more, I guess, patterns that you include into it. It gets better and better, because you really get to build up that intro, the chorus, the bridge, all those different parts of a song that you want, even little sections you can add in. I haven't really gotten into the meat of it, but yeah, it's really a great feature, and I'm so glad that they implemented it. I was lucky enough to get the Syntakt pretty close to when it first came out, and they released song mode pretty quickly after that, if I remember right. It was pretty quick, which up until maybe about 6 months ago, I really didn't use it too much, but after using it, definitely a great feature. Now, another thing that I have in here is the Mother 32. And of course, if you have the Mother 32, then you know it's a great synth. It's got a great sound and a lot of fun to really mess around with. A lot of fun to play with, so always good getting a lot of sounds out of here, really exploring with it, patching it with the DFAM. A lot of times I like to take the oscillators from the DFAM and patch that into the Mother 32 and kind of beef it up in that way. That's a great thing. And of course I've got that going into the effects aid, which if you don't have an effects aid, I've found they're pretty hard to come by, it seems like these days. I look on Reverb a lot and not too many that are available that are close by. It's difficult to come by those, so if you can get your hands on one, I would. A lot of people, maybe have a gripe about, too many options with the effects. I've seen a lot of people say, just put, your favorite 5-10 effects at the top and then just use those. But I've got a whole list of them. I've got a corkboard here with all the effects listed out, so I know where's what and how to use it and all that. So that makes it a lot easier for me. So yeah. Yeah, that's the whole track, really. It's came together pretty well. It's a real chill kind of track. Real kind of sit back and just kind of sit on your porch, watch the day go by. Have a drink. Do whatever you do best whenever you're relaxing. But I enjoyed it. I enjoy most of the stuff I do. If I don't, I'll let you know. But let's see. One other thing I did here is I did have, what is it? Oh, I guess I have the DFAM going into the Nautilus. So let's take a look at that real quick. So again, without the modulation from Neo Trinity, real simple. Added in that Nautilus. Real subtle. It's real ghost hits. Real simple stuff. And of course, adding that modulation back in, which is the character of the whole DFAM section there. I love it. It's just so much character, I think. Yep. So yeah. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this type of thing, it was something new that I was doing. Not exactly sure how it's going to work out. Hopefully it works out pretty well. But if you enjoy it, give it a like, give it a subscribe. I could use it, I guess. But, really this is all for me. It's really just to get my ideas out there and to learn this stuff. This is it's not easy to do modular most times. There's a lot of learning to do. In fact, I took about a year before purchasing my first module, to even before I started doing all this, just so I knew what I was going to do. So if you're thinking about getting into it, definitely take the time to look at what you want to do. So yeah, thanks again. See you next time.